Good afternoon, everyone, and again, welcome to my home. Miserable day out there, tough day at work. So, cancer remedy number 3. Well, not cancer remedy, wrong thing to say. Cancer recovery number 3. Now, this one is one of the most important ones, and the reason being it was the most important one, this was the very first meal that I could eat, physically eat. I didn't eat solid food for 3 months because radiotherapy just burns everything out of you. So this that I'm going to cook for you today, it's something called hashbuka. Now, I'll get into hashbuka in a minute. Right, I want to get the ingredients and I need to get the onions and peppers on for the simple reason they take a little bit to break down. So I'm going to get them on, I'm going to go through the ingredients, get them on, and then come back to hashbuka, its origins and blah de blah. So let's get it on. Now the ingredients for hashbuka goes as, we have onions, peppers, they're the 2 main ingredients for the actual hashbuka. We've got the spice blend here, what I'll go into again in a minute. Garlic, smoked paprika, spring onion tops, feta cheese, ghee. Now there's 2 little things of ghee here. One's for the eggs, and the other one is for the actual hashbuka itself. Now, let's get cracking. I'll go through the spice blend and everything else. I just need to get the onions and peppers on for the simple reason they do take a little bit to break down, and then I'll come back to it. But once they're on, we can start talking about hashbuka. So, first things first, the ghee needs no introduction with me. I love this stuff. I really, really do. It's you know, everyone should be cooking with it, or butter, you know, drop the oils, trust me, drop the oils. Olive oil, fine, serve cold on dressings, great. Avocado oil, cold on dressings, great. But all the sunflowers and bran oils and this, that, get rid of them, start cooking in butter, you'll feel better. All right, so here we go. Onions in. Give them a second. In fact, give them a good flick of salt. Now, I don't think I'm getting straight into the cooking. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and so on, so on. I just need to get these cracking. And then I promise you I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you with everything you want to know about this. So, let's get the onions on, in the ghee, lid it for a minute. Now, onions take a little bit longer to break down than the peppers. That's why I put them in first, give them 5 minutes, put them on a decent heat, you know what I mean? Because onions are really, really resilient things. So if they catch a little touch, don't matter none, you know what I mean? Does not matter none. So, here we go. So, onions are on. Back to the hashbuka. Right, now, it was a really, really important meal for me. Hashbuka, it originates, it's a Middle Eastern dish, like, it's a breakfast dish in Dubai and things like that. And it's served with eggs. Now, the difference, what I do is they poach the eggs in the hashbuka sauce. I don't do that because I like my eggs separate. So if you want to poach them in the sauce, by all means, crack on. However, I just like to do them a certain way and sit them on top, which again I'll go through with you shortly. The onions are going on nicely. The onions are kicking off nicely, so as I say, I just need a little bit of time on this one to break them down. Now, back to the hashbuka. It's a Middle Eastern breakfast, it's eggs, it's back to the spice blend, right? The spice blend in it. In episode 1, I did some Moroccan chicken with the honey and things like that, and the spice blend that I used in that is the exact same one here. So, you don't do a spice blend and just use it for Moroccan chicken. That spice blend goes on this, you know what I mean? It goes on the hashbuka, it goes on lamb, you know, throw it on some king prawns or some garlic, you know, and things like that. The spice blend is so good, you know what I mean? And I'll go through it again. It's coriander seed, fennel seed, fenugreek seed, and cumin seed. That's it. And you blitz it. I use a NutriBullet, small cup on the NutriBullet. Blitz it, blitzes it fine, give it a good sprinkle. Delicious. Turns any kind of meal into something warming, comforting, and I love it. Seriously, I love it. I love the Moroccan flavours. And when I was able to eat again. I had this for the evening meal, like every night, because it was like, because I couldn't eat for a while, when I could finally eat something, you know what I mean, it was this. It was every night, you know. So, there we go. Now, the onions are on the way. So, while the onions are on the way, in goes the peppers. Now again, what I like to do, I like to season every level, right? So you can put a big whack of salt in at the start. I don't do that. I season every level. So basically, it looks like you're using a lot of salt. It's a sprinkle. But you're seasoning every single level. That's what I like to do. It's like building flavours, and it's just the way forward for me. So, if you look at the ingredients, what I put in front of you, again, it's a simple dish, and it's not expensive. Peppers, onions, spice mix that you've already done for the chicken. Ghee, you should be cooking with it anyway. You should. The smoked paprika, use that the other day. So this is like a blend of store cupboard stuff that you should be buying and you should have there to cook for yourself. You know what I mean? And it's, you know, eggs, peppers, onions. Oh, one thing I missed, passata, which is sieved tomatoes, delicious stuff. Get a good passata, you know what I mean? Some of it can be a bit water. This is quite a good one, it's quite thick. So, excuse me, slightly dehydrated. So, get a good passata. Now, here we go. As you can see, you're starting to, I wouldn't say break down as such yet, but they're going to be getting there. So, when I was saying about this being cancer recovery, it really helped me so much. At first the spices was tingling and things like that, but you know, you need to, when you can't eat at all, eggs was my go-to, because I was having raw eggs, literally. I was having raw eggs because, for the simple reason, I could get them down there. Do you know what I mean? I was getting these shakes and everything else from the hospital. Couldn't get them down there. I just couldn't. I was pretty bad. Whereas raw eggs, I could get them down there. Now I know everyone's going to be like, oh, raw eggs. Listen, if it's good enough for Rocky Balboa, it's good enough for me. Seriously, if you can get them down here and start building yourself up, then build yourself up, and it's as simple as that. That's where I was at. So, is there anyone out there that has got the cancer that I had? I had it in jaw, throat, this, that, the other, stage 4. It was heavy, but it's got the raw eggs down there. Now, don't get me wrong. You can whip some chocolate powder in it, make them chocolate. But for me, I just needed to get something in me to start building my life back. So then, when I could start building my life back, I had the raw eggs, yeah, fine. But then I started making scrambled eggs, and that was the first thing I could swallow. Then it went on to this. And you see why it's very soft, it's delicious. The two things that we're going to put on the top with this is feta cheese, one of my favourite cheeses. I love it. It's always in my fridge, always. I sprinkle it on everything. So it's going to be feta cheese and spring onions. Now, I didn't do this when I was having recovery. This is like my kind of little edge on it now, right? It's my edge on it now. But as we can see, now the onions and peppers are starting to break down nicely, which is where we want to be, right? So, I was going back to Shakshuka. It's one of the best, right, the Shakshuka sauce itself, right, with the spices, the garlic, the this, that, you know, everything that you see on the board there, which is not a lot of ingredients, again, you know, so, you know, as a chef or as someone who wants to cook, don't overcomplicate it. Don't, do you know what I mean? Keep it simple, but what you've got that you're going to cook simply, cook it right, do you know what I mean? Give it a bit of care of attention, you know, like, as I say, like the eggs, always make sure they're good eggs, you know, good free range eggs, you know what I mean? If you're going to buy the bottom shelf, like battery and things, then, you know what I mean? I know what people are going to say, eggs are eggs. I go organic because this is like a main meal, so I'm having eggs instead of chicken. So I'm going to make sure the eggs are good, you know what I mean? Because, you know, they're going to be main protein source on that very thing. These little fellas, 48% of that is protein. Now, there's been a lot of bad press about eggs. Eggs like, oh, cholesterol. Yeah, I've got cholesterol, but guess what? It's good cholesterol, and it breaks up the bad cholesterol. They're so good for you. They're so good for you. I was having like up to 18 a day when I was recovering, raw. And now I can feel you all cringing. And me talking about it now, I'm cringing because of but I had to do it. I had to do it. So, did it put me off eggs? No, it really didn't. The only difference is now I can cook, and back then I couldn't. So, no, listen, get eggs into your diet, really important. Get eggs in there and get ghee in there. Trust me. You know, breakfast. My girl's mum, God bless her, love her dearly, her name's Little Sylv. And the first breakfast I said to her, she was going, I want this diet, I want that diet. And I went, eggs and butter, Sylv, first thing. And she was like, really? She's one of the old school. She's one of the old school women, you know what I mean, who's been there, you know, through the struggle, through the battles, loveliest woman in the world. First thing I said, eggs and butter, first thing. And she's like, oh, I love this breakfast. She lost loads of weight. See what I'm saying? She lost loads of weight. And I'm not talking loads of weight like she looks gone. She lost weight in the right places. And she's 70 odd years old. Do you know what I mean? And she's like, she's now enjoying the food loads, you know, because she's introducing things that she's never ate before and things that she actually thought was bad. Butter, like she thought it was like, oh, you can't have too many eggs, cholesterol. I'm like, no, you should. And she did. And she's feeling a ton better. So you want to see when she comes up here, she's dancing over there and everything that night. You know, we had a glass of wine. Anyway, back to the ashbuka. Starting to break down nicely. So that's where we want to be for the next step. So as you can see, the onions and pepper are taking on really nice. You've got a nice shine on them. They're doing really well. At this point, we need, I'd say this is for two. So about a tablespoon and a half of the seasoning, the spice blend, right? The smoked paprika gives it a lovely date, smoky flavour, teaspoon of. So I'd say about a third of the other spice blend. Garlic, hit it, bang, hit it with garlic. That's about a tablespoon of garlic. Simple reason is I love the stuff. I love the stuff. You know, it's fantastic for you. Yeah, it makes you smell, gives you smelly breath, but if your missus is having it as well, who else is going to smell your breath? Who cares? You know what I mean? So get garlic in your diet. Get garlic in your diet. In fact, everything. Oh God, the smells of it is straight away. Fantastic. Swear to God. Makes you so hungry, this. You know, with the smells, it makes you so hungry. Honestly, really, really, really. Oh, one thing we haven't hit it with as yet. Salt I have, you know, I've done a couple levels. Black pepper. Black pepper gives a really, really lovely one. It might sound weird, but I fell out with black pepper for a while. I don't mean fell out with it. I mean, I didn't use it as much, or I didn't use it as much as I should have done. And like, I started using it. Oh yeah, I kind of missed that warming feeling as you're eating. So anyway, get black pepper in your life. I use the cracked black pepper. Let me just give this a shake. Look at that bad boy. Look at that. Look at the shine on it. Look at that. Look at that. That's really going. I'm happy with that. This one is going to be a good one. This one is going to be a good ashbuka. I'm going to sit there, eat it heartily and enjoy. Get a good series on the Netflix. You're living good, trust me. Anyway, that is not far off your ashbuka. The only thing that you're missing is the passata. So I'm waiting for the spices and everything to take. But again, it ain't rocket science. Do you know what I mean? It's not. It's more or less one pot and a little frying pan for the eggs. You know what I mean? But this sauce, let me tell you about this sauce, right? Me and my girl was, you know, we had this a few weeks ago. We have it a lot. We have it, but a few weeks ago, we had it, and we had some a bit later in the night. We had a glass of vino. We go, oh, should we have some cheese? And it's like, oh, we got some of that ashbuka. We had the little cheese and cracker. Now, this is all about kind of like health food, but it's not about recovery. Now I'm like, right, recovered. I'm having little treats, you know, and I'm loving it. So we had cheese and crackers. And the first time I've had crackers in it over a year, we had cheese and crackers and put this ashbuka sauce on top. with a little bit of the feta cheese and a couple of bits of spring onion. Oh my God. Fantastic, fantastic. So if you make too much of it, whatever you do not throw it away. Put it in a little jar like I have your steel one, put it in a little tub, whatever. Just do not throw it. And when you put it in the fridge after a day or two, it gets better with age and you can use it as a chutney. Oh mate, just trust me, if you throw it, it'll be sacrilege, you know what I mean? Because again, it's only like, you know, pepper's only a bit of spice, garlic, salt, pepper, but so good, honestly. Now we're talking. Can you hear the sizzle? Look at the steam, love it. Now that is where I want to be. That is where I want to be. The spice is hitting me. Right. So that is where I want to be. Excuse me, the spice has got me. The spice really got me. But when I say that's where I want to be, the spices are caramelising. So the onions are releasing their moisture, the peppers are, and that's going into the spice and it's cooking and it's caramelising. And you know, you've got to be confident with this, right? Don't be pushing it around the pan. As you can see, I put a lid on it. Leave it, because the steam creating that steam, it won't, I mean, it will burn if you crank it up and leave it, but if you've got it on a decent heat, and it's steaming, that steam will stop it from catching and burning on the bottom. It just creates enough moisture to stop the burn. So be confident with your cooking, you know what I mean? Now, another great tip is if you look down here, I get all my ingredients on the board ready, right? I get all my ingredients on the board ready, right? In little dishes, in little pots. Even now, I can do this without thinking about it. I've been doing it all. But I get them all on the board for a simple reason, is you're not running around faffing. Oh, where's this? Oh, where's that? Where's it? You know what I mean? Because if you start doing that, you're going to be a nightmare. You're going to be falling over things. You're going to be this, that. You're going to, oh my God. No. Spend 5 minutes getting it together. Just 5 minutes getting it together, right? And even put it in the sequence you're going to cook in, right? So put it in the sequence you're going to cook in, and it's all there in front of you. You'll end up stood there going, what do I do now? And you end up stirring it too much. So don't do it. What I'm saying is you'll have time on your hands. You'll have time on your hands. You know what I mean? That's it. You do it all. Basically, if you prep it right, you will, you'll save time, you won't be running around, you won't be like a headless chicken in there, you know what I mean? It'll all be in front of you. Now, moving on to our little ashbuka passata. As I say, as you can see, it's quite a thick passata, right? Because you can buy these cheap ones and they're a bit watery, you know what I mean? Yeah, they're a little bit watery. I don't buy the cheap ones, I buy some decent ones, you know, because I cook with a lid on. Sorry, I'm going in the jar again because here's me saying, get all the greens in front of you and I'm forgetting equipment. There you go. So I use quite a decent one because it can be a bit watery and I don't want that like watery texture in the ashbuka itself. So now we're at a point where the passata's in. Now you take it down. You drop it down. You drop it down. I'd say drop the heat in half. I use induction. Right? As I said on the previous video, I use induction. I love induction. I do. It's, you know, I inherited it, as I said, a couple of hours ago. I had to buy all new induction pans. I was like, you know, I'd always use gas and all that lot, but I went and bought all new, and I loved it. I fell in love with it, and luckily, like, the past 3 hours has been in, 2 of them have had induction, and then I went back to gas. Now, when I went back to gas, right, with induction, it brings it up to a heat and stays there, whereas gas will keep going and going and going and going, right? And these things have cut-off points, right? So you take up to a certain point, if it gets too hot and the induction goes, I've got a cut-off switch, bang, it closes it off. Gas does not do that. You know, gas will keep going and going and going and going and going, so it'll build up heat, not only will it burn, and you'll have to start again, which, when I went back to cooking on gas, that happened. Shame to say, you know what I mean? Kind of chef are you when I can't cook an ashbuken at home. Anyway, yeah, it was just awkward. But now I've moved into my new home, which I absolutely love. But now I'm back on induction, and it's a good induction pan. But this is quite a good induction hob. So it's like, you know, when you get a new car and it's a BMW and it's a bit all bells and whistles, and you know what I mean, you it's like that. But anyway, I love induction. Here's me waffling on. Let's do some eggs. Now, with these eggs are the eggs that I have breakfast, dinner, tea. Now, the Americans call them basted, right? What it is, a little bit of butter, eggs, salt, pepper, the usual suspects. And then what I do is I give it, bring it up a little bit, then I give it a little splash of water and I stick a plate on it and let them steam. And it kind of becomes like a cross between a poached egg and a fried egg. And I guarantee you, if you master this, which is, again, it isn't hard, I'm making sure my cooking is not hard. And it isn't. You know, if you can't do this, you know, if you can't do this, then go with the chippy, mate. You know what I mean? Give it up. You know, if you can't cook fried eggs, pepper and onion, forget about it. Anyway, the eggs. Basted eggs, or what so the Americans call them, basted eggs. I don't know the name for these eggs. As I say, they're a cross between a poached egg and a fried egg. But trust me, watch it, you'll see it. It's really cool. Really is cool, because a lot of people go, oh, I don't like the snotty white on the egg. Fine. This takes care of all of that, but you still get a yolk. So for me, perfect egg. Anyway, I'm going to show you. Here we go. Ashbuken's doing really good. I can smell it. I've took the heat down. It's banging on nicely. Right, now once you take the heat down on this ashbuken as well, as you can see, honestly, I mean, the beauty of this, I mean, like you can see, like all the steam go around my head, you know, but the smell of this is another level. So, over on the eggs, we have got normal frying pan, in goes the ghee. Let me just have a wipe down, a little bit scruffy. Now the eggs, again, I've gone for free range, organic free range, because this is a starting, no it isn't, it's kind of like the starting protein of your dish. Spend a few quid on it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to say a few quid, I mean literally a few quid, you know, for top shelf, really good eggs. You're only looking at three and a half nickel. Get them. So here we go, we got, simple as that, 3 eggs in the butter. Now, at this point, whack of salt, whack of pepper. There we go. Now, it's a bit soon yet to put the water in, because it's got to take, if you put the water in now, it's going to take the yolks too far, because it steams and the steam goes all around. Now I put a plate on it. You can put a lid on it, fine. But the problem is when you put a lid on it is that the steam escapes. If you put a plate on it, the plate's a bit heavier and it will hold. And it stops the steam escaping and it cooks the eggs perfect. It's just the way it is. Right, so here we go. As you can see, the eggs are taken. Just normal bottle of water, splash on each side. Boom. And you're going to need it. It starts to sizzle and steam. Excuse me for having a drink. I'm a bit, yeah, I hit the gym this morning like crack of dawn, trained like a Trojan, and usually I've got a big bottle of water with me, and I only took a little bottle of water, so I'm just sipping it, you know what I mean? So I feel a little bit dehydrated today, so apologies if I'm drinking as I'm going. At least it's not beer, it's not the weekend yet. The best thing to serve the ashbuken in is a nice bowl. Now, eggs are coming on lovely. The eggs are coming on really good. A little bit high, so I'll just chuck it down a bit. So, while the eggs are kicking off nicely, I'm going to put the ashbuken in a bowl. Now, as you can see, we're nice and generous with it. Now, The smells of this. Now, again, I don't eat bread. I don't eat bread. But if you are a bread person, right? If you are a bread person, you got bread with this and you're scooping up the eggs and this, that, the other. Another level, another level. In fact, that is exactly how they eat it in the Middle East. Scooping up bread and they give it a good lick of olive oil, which is good. But for me, there's enough butter on it to give it that oomph, you know, that oomph. Oomph. Yeah, choice of words, oomph. Give it, no, so seriously, give it a good whack of, if you're a bread guy and you want to bulk out, bread lady, you want to bulk it out, trust me, you know, when you're scooping this sauce up, this ashbuka stew, if you like, with the bread and, you know, the soft yolk on the egg. Now, here we go. Here we go. Now, this is exactly what I'm looking for. As you can see, now, they are perfect eggs. Now, I'm not going to take them out via spatula. What I'm going to do is, bam. Now that ghee, get it in there because that's going to go right through the sauce. Trust me, trust me, trust me. That is one fine dish. However, we are not finished. Next, a crumbled feta cheese, which feta's got like a nice bit of sharpness. It's got a creamy, like sharpness, almost like creamy sour, really. You know what I mean? It's got like, and it goes great with this. Great with, oh, by the way, you can also put some honey in the ashbuka, but only use Manuka honey. I went into that in episode 1, but only use Manuka honey. Now, last on the list is spring onion tops. A lot of people throw these away. Best bit. What are you doing? Don't throw them away. Give them me. I'll make all kinds out of them. Jerk, seasoning, all kinds out of these. Anyway, there we go. That's it. This is ashbuka with basted eggs, fried eggs. Sorry about the black thumb, I trapped it in my van door. So, ashbuka, basted eggs, feta cheese, spring onions. Simple, simple. Please try this. Trust. By the way, before I give it to my lady and she runs off and eats it in front of the TV, that ashbuka sauce, it'll go on sandwiches, lamb, chicken, fish, king prawns, on and on its own. Trust me, get ashbuka into your life. Right, now I'm going to bid you farewell because it's been a tough day and I want to chill now. But listen, if you're struggling eating with cancer like I was, right, get as many eggs down as you can. Trust me, they are going to be the fundamental for your recovery. Believe me, I'm living proof of it, right? And again, if it helps one person with cancer, just one, please contact me and tell me, and I'll be over the moon. I'll be over the moon to hear from you. If it gets through to people that, you know, there is light at the end of the tunnel, because there is, I'm living proof of it. Don't give up the fight. Please don't give up the fight. Just keep on getting up and soldiering on, please. All right, listen, be good to each other. I'm going to go and enjoy my ashbuka now. So listen, peace and love to everyone. God bless you. Take care.